Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unravel the secrets hidden in plain sight within corporate filings. And today we're looking at LM Funding America Incorporated's latest amended report, which seems to be all about a pretty significant acquisition. So what did LM Funding America Incorporated just snap up? It looks like they acquired a whole bunch of Bitcoin miners, around 2,330 of them to be exact, along with a parcel of land and business assets in Mississippi from a company called Greenidge, Mississippi, LLC. This is an amendment to a previous report, so they're just adding more detailed financial information about this deal. Basically, LM Funding America, or LMFA as they're known, used one of their subsidiaries to buy this stuff. They signed an agreement for this purchase and then they completed it. This report is just to give us a clearer picture of the financial side of this acquisition. Think of this filing as a follow-up, a way to add more detail to a story they've already started telling us. The main thing they're adding here are financial statements and exhibits related to the newly acquired Mississippi operations. This is where things get interesting for us. There are financial reports for the Mississippi operations that were just bought. We're talking about an audited balance sheet from the end of last year, December 2024, and also statements showing how that business performed during that full year. So we can actually see how this acquired part of the business was doing on its own before LMFA bought it. They're also giving us unaudited numbers for the first half of this year, up to June 2025. This is crucial because it gives us a more up-to-date look at the financial health of the assets they just acquired. It helps us understand the current situation and not just how things were at the very end of last year. And then there is the pro forma financial information. Pro forma basically means as if this is LMFA's way of showing us what their own overall financial picture would have looked like if they had owned this Mississippi operation for the entire period they're reporting on. It is a way to blend the acquired business's financials with their own to give us a hypothetical combined view. So they're showing us a pro forma balance sheet as of the 30th of June 2025. This tells us what their combined assets, liabilities, and equity would look like right now if this deal had happened exactly on that date. It is a snapshot of the combined company's financial standing. They also provide a pro forma statement of operations for the first 6 months of 2025. But here is where it gets really interesting. They are showing this as if the deal had happened all the way back on the 1st of January 2024. This is a really good way to see the impact this acquisition would have had on their earnings over a longer period, not just since the deal closed. It gives us a more consistent way to compare performance. And similar to the previous point, they are also providing a pro forma statement of operations for the full year 2024. Again, imagining the deal happened at the very start of that year. This allows investors to understand the full year's impact of the acquisition as if it were a long-term part of the business. Now, let's talk about what this actually means. LMFA is moving into the Bitcoin mining space, which is a pretty volatile but potentially lucrative area. They bought significant mining equipment and the land and operations to run it. The key here is whether this acquisition makes financial sense for them. The pro forma financials will give us a clue. If the pro forma statements before the deal show stronger revenues and profits, it suggests this acquisition could be a significant boost. If the numbers are shaky, it raises questions about the wisdom of this move, especially with the fluctuating nature of crypto markets. Looking at the audited financial statements for the Mississippi operations from December 2024, we can see the standalone financial health of what they just bought. A high level of profitability or strong revenue streams here would be a positive sign for LMFA. Conversely, if these numbers show the business was struggling, it means LMFA is either taking on a challenge or possibly buying at a favorable price to turn it around. The unaudited statements for the 6 months ending June 2025 give us a more current picture. We would want to see consistent performance or improvement here to be optimistic about the acquisition's immediate impact. A sharp downturn in this period right before or as the deal was closing would be a red flag. When we look at the pro forma statement of operations for the 6 months ended June 2025, assuming the deal happened on the 1st of January 2024, we're essentially seeing how the combined entity would have performed, if this pro forma performance is significantly better than LMFA's. Standalone performance, it tells us this acquisition is expected to be a major driver of growth. High revenue and profit growth on a pro forma basis is the ideal scenario. If the pro forma numbers show little improvement or even a dip, it suggests the acquisition might not be as impactful as hoped, or that the integration and operational costs could be significant. This amendment itself, amending and supplementing item 9.01, is essentially a housekeeping item to ensure all the necessary financial details about this big purchase are properly filed. It's about transparency and providing complete information to the investors. The company also includes forward-looking statements. This is standard for these reports. They're essentially saying, here are our expectations for the future, but things could change. They are cautioning investors that actual results might be different from what they predict. They mention risks and uncertainties, which is always wise in the fast-moving world of cryptocurrency and mining. They're saying their future success depends on various factors, and they might not achieve their goals. They're not promising anything and are advising investors to look at their other filings for a fuller picture of potential risks. So, what is my take on this? LM Funding America Incorporated is making a big play by diving into Bitcoin mining. This is a high-risk, high-reward industry. The financial information provided in this amendment is key to understanding if this move is strategically sound. The fact that they're providing both standalone financials for the acquired business and pro forma financials for the combined entity is a good sign they're trying to be transparent. The strength of this move hinges on the actual profitability and growth shown in those pro forma statements. If the numbers indicate a substantial uplift in revenue and earnings for LMFA because of this acquisition, then it looks like a smart strategic pivot. However, if the pro forma figures are only marginally better or show a decline, it means the company might be facing an uphill battle, and there are significant risks involved with integrating and operating these new assets, especially in a volatile market like crypto. The primary opportunity here is tapping into a growing digital asset sector, while the main risk is the inherent volatility of Bitcoin prices, coupled with the operational complexities and costs of running a large mining operation. Alright, that is our breakdown of LM Funding America Incorporated's latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments if this analysis was valuable. Hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.